Jackson, folks. He's a former White House physician. He served the President Trump, Obama, and Bush. He's running for Congress in the 13th Congressional District. Sir, welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show. Pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you having me.
Look, I wanted to run a couple of things by you. The president, of course, rocked some ground yesterday by announcing he was taking hydroxychloroquine. Would somebody in your former position, would they prescribe something that a lot of the press is calling controversial, or MSNBC and CNN calling it poison and bad for you? Would a White House physician do that for the president?
Well, absolutely they would. And, I was up at the White House all day yesterday. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm in the Dallas airport right now waiting for my flight to Wichita Falls. But I was up there yesterday, and I discussed this at length with the president.
Oh, did we lose? Hey, Mr. Jackson, you cut out there for a second. Let me just reintroduce you. Dr. Ronny Jackson, our guest, former White House physician. And my question to you, doctor, was, do you think that any White House physician would prescribe something that was dangerous for the President of the United States?
Yeah, no, I don't think any doctor would prescribe something that's dangerous to the United States. But I was up at the White House yesterday. I spent most of the day up there, and I spoke to Dr. Conley, who's the president's physician, the guy that took my place when I left. And we discussed this at length, and it's perfectly acceptable, makes perfect sense that the president is taking this medication. He's taking it prophylactically, and there are literally hundreds of people that have been taking this medication prophylactically over the last several months. First responders and emergency medicine providers and things of that nature. And I don't know of one single bad or negative outcome from using it in that fashion.
Right. As a matter of fact, we pointed out to, and some of these are official studies, but most of it's anecdotal, including a Democrat up in Michigan who thanked the president for his making available hydroxychloroquine for her. She believed it was hydroxychloroquine, azithromycin, and zinc that helped her turn the corner. To this doctor down in Galveston, Dr. Armstrong, you may be familiar with him, who did a 39-patient trial, and the person that passed away died of non-COVID related issues. So there seems to be plenty of evidence out there that it is an aid in some cases, but I'm willing to wait. Aren't you? I mean, don't you think it's putting a cart before the horse for the majority of the press to get out there and label hydroxychloroquine controversial or dangerous?
Okay, absolutely. They're doing that for one and one reason only. That's because the president's a proponent of it and because the president's taking it. I guarantee you if, something had happened and they'd started Joe Biden on this in his basement, they would be praising, whoever prescribed it and be saying it was the greatest thing around and that somebody was being proactive in doing something. But I'll tell you, this drug has been around since the 1940s. The human safety data on this drug is incredible. I mean, we've given literally, I'm not exaggerating, there have been probably over 1 billion doses of this medication prescribed over the years because of its use in malaria since the 1940s. And so the big question is, does it work or not? Not is it safe or not? It's perfectly safe. The president's using it in small doses prophylactically, like I said, and that's been done all over this country for the last couple of months with no outcomes whatsoever that are negative or bad from its use as prophylactic drug. And it's the responsible thing to do right now, based on the exposures he had. And I tell people, not everybody's going to have access to it. Not everybody's going to, be able to do this. But the reality is that, he's the president of the United States. We go to extremes to protect him. If you're comfortable with the president of the United States riding around in an armored vehicle, right, and being surrounded at all times by multiple Secret Service agents with weapons to keep him safe, you should be perfectly fine with him being on this drug prophylactically to protect his health. So, I think the president's putting his money where his mouth is. He's been talking about this drug for a long time. A lot of speculation was that he was just building it up to salvage the economy and to try to create some enthusiasm and some optimism to get things back on track. That's not the case. He's a believer in it. He's actually taking it.
Well, Dr. Jackson, I can't thank you enough for making out the time. I know that you have been on the campaign trail, so you may not have heard about this STI 1499 antibody that's being touted by Sorrento Therapeutics. They say that it's 100% inhibition of the China virus, the COVID-19 virus, and they're expected to release their data on Friday. Have you heard anything about this, and are you hopeful about it?
I've heard a little bit about it. I like I said, I don't know if you caught it at the beginning, but I'm standing in the airport at Dallas waiting for my flight to Wichita Falls. So I've been traveling most of the day today. But yes, I have heard a little bit about it. It sounds super promising. I mean, it's an antibody, so we know exactly how that works. You know, the antibody attaches to the antigen on the virus, usually one of the spike proteins, and it blocks the virus from entering the cell. So the physiology associated with it is something that we fully understand. So I'm super excited about it. I think there's a lot of promise here.
Cool. Dr. Jackson, Dr. Ronny Jackson, everybody, former White House physician, sir. Appreciate the time on the Salcedo Show. Come back and we'll talk some more. Thank you. Coming up, ladies and gentlemen,